Hi and welcome to the partners of Fynamics. Fynamics is an approved GST Suvidha provider and started in 2018. Currently has more than 2,500 clients, including large corporates, MNCs, consulting firms, CA firms, small businesses, startups, etc., and has generated over 80 million e-invoices till date. Fynamics is a full stack GST solution covering e-invoicing, e-waybill, GST returns filing, 2A, 2B reconciliation, and so on. Now, the quick background about us is that we are amongst the leading full stack GST solution provider in India, and and as mentioned, an approved GST Suvidha provider. Some of the big brands that trust Fynamics include Foxconn, Siemens, Volvo, TVS, Quest, Rakuten, BYD, and so on. Now, the Fynamics GST stack for system integrators and ERP providers is across two models. One is a pure pass-through API gateway, which is like a GSP gateway, which is end-to-end pass-through APIs where we act only as a pipe with no data save. So we just store the header information for authentication purposes, and it supports e-invoice, e-waybill as well as all GST activities with a pricing going as low as 4 paise per API and a max of up to 10 paise per API in the standard plan. Now, this plan, this gateway model, as mentioned, does not store any logs of the data. So we don't read the data. We don't have any information of the payload. So let me just take you quickly through the Fyn Gateway, which is the API gateway. So it includes a dashboard where you can, all of this demo is being done on a staging environment, which is like a test environment. You get free access to to the staging environment. So it includes the GST APIs. So you could just look by certain data points on the graphs, etc. And it includes GST APIs, e-waybill APIs, e-invoice APIs once you log in. Then there is the client keys where this is used for the authentication. So the first time you create an account on Fyn Gateway, you would generate a bunch of client keys, and then those client keys are used for creating a auth token, which will talk between your ERP system and Fyn Gateway. And once that is authenticated, then you can use the rest of the e-invoice, e-waybill, GST APIs for communicating with the GST portal or the NIC portals. It's a prepaid program or a model. So there is no upfront cost, no monthly commitments, no annual commitments. It's a pay per use. So basis how much you top up, you can use those APIs. There are two plans. There is a pro plan and the standard plan. So the pro plan, let me just take you through the pricing as well. The standard plan is 10 paise per API, and it gives you access to all the standard and enhanced APIs, etc. The Pro plan is 4 paise per API, and this includes an annual membership of 9999 per year. So if you are generating more than 50 to 60,000 APIs per month, that is, if you're consuming that of that much number of APIs per month, then the Pro GSP API plan will be very ideal. This is the lowest in the industry as 4 paise per API. But the standard you can still go for is at 10 paise per API. You can manage the wallet, you can add balance to your wallet, etc. from this option. You can subscribe to the Pro plan here, and then you are charged at that amount. The reports, you get access to all the reports with the date range module wise. You can go by module, you can go by date range and get the option. Every API we've given up to 5 reference fields. So if you even want to know customer wise data, you can add it as part of the reference fields, which is available in the header. So in case you want to have customer wise usage information, you can use the reference fields to give a customer ID or a customer name and then download it from the report section to look at the usage per customer. Because as I mentioned, we don't capture the payload. So the body of that JSON, which would include the invoice number, customer name, etc., would not be available with Fyn Gateway. Now coming to the docs, there is Swagger docs available for all the APIs. So if you even look at e-invoice API Swagger, every module, the first option is to do the Fyn Gateway authentication API, which is You basis the client ID, client secret that you saw in the earlier window, where you generate that client ID, client secret, which is from this option here, client ID and client secret. You will enter that and get an auth token, access token. And that access token, when you're creating itself, you can choose whether you want to give a never expire or you want to expire that access token every 24 hours. And accordingly, it will start from that particular time and it will go for till the never expire or the expiration duration that you have mentioned, and use this access token for every other API. So once you get that access token, you will then use that to do the rest of it. Like if you're looking at e-invoice APIs, you will do the authentication with the NIC, you will do the IRN generation, etc. Every API, including except for the Fyn authentication API, will be charged at that per API cost. So it's a prepaid wallet. You get charged on every API except the Fyn Gateway authentication API. So this alone, there is no cost. Rest of the APIs that you consume, there will be a cost. Now the good part here is, one, of course, the cost is very low and it's per API basis and it's unlimited validity, which means even if you don't use the APIs for a few months, it's still fine. It's unlimited. So there is no annual commitment, unlike other GSPs. So this is the only GSP where you have unlimited validity. Even you can top up for 5,000 and use it for 10 days, 50 days, 500 days, or even 5,000 days. There is no limit. Secondly, all these APIs are enriched APIs and there is no additional charge because they are enriched. So we provide standard APIs as well as enriched APIs. Enriched APIs means that we give you the option to pass as plain text JSON. We take care of the encryption and decryption with the government portals. So you will only end up passing simple plain text JSON, like for example, if you're generating an IRN, it's very simply a plain text JSON like this. We will take care of the encryption and decryption and pass that to the government portal. So when you get back the response also, you'll get decrypted response. These are the reference fields that I was mentioning, the 5 reference fields that you can use for storing custom data. This data doesn't get to the government portal. It's only for you to be made available as part of the reports. So this is on Fyn Gateway. It's a very simple user interface, very easy to use for any system integrator or ERP provider. We have more than 250 system integrators who are using Fyn Gateway live as of this moment. Feel free to reach out. There's also a need help section here that gives the details of whom you want to contact and their phone number, email ID, etc. And you can always have a dedicated point of contact that you can reach out to for any help. So now coming back to the second option, which is our TaxTech solution, where there is data saved, which means the data will be saved at an invoice level, at a customer level, for you to log in and look at deeper data insights. So these also provide real-time, low-code, enriched APIs. We take care of data storage. The additional, compared to API Gateway, what happens in TaxTech is we also take care of the authentication. So if you recollect, in Fyn Gateway, you have to do the authentication with the government portal. But in FynamicsGST, which is our TaxTech solution, we take care of the authentication also. So this also supports e-invoice, e-way GST, and public APIs, etc. You have the pricing, however, based on PAN-based annual slabs. For the updated pricing, please reach out to the Fynamics team because there could be certain updates on the pricing over time. So this is a key difference between our API Gateway and our TaxTech solution. So API Gateway is only API header logs being stored. TaxTech, every data is stored in, and you also get the e-invoice and e-way bill PDF print available as part of the response. So you can always consume that also. The logs retained on both sides are 8 years. The number of clients again are unlimited, but however, in our TaxTech, it is the pricing, of course, is on a per client basis. The number of API hits also, while it's unlimited, they have their respective thresholds to avoid any to avoid certain scenarios where you call the APIs in a loop and it leads to significant overcharge. So only for that basis, there is certain controls being set in the modules, but otherwise there is no specific limit daily. There's no specific number of hits that you can do on these products. Pricing, API Gateway is per API basis. The TaxTech is on invoice slab basis, and also it's only on in IRN successfully generated. So fetch IRN or say errors while generating the IRN or even fetch evaluable details, all the other APIs are fully free. So you only are charged on success IRN generation. Sandbox, we provide sandbox access to both. Now, of course, why choose Fynamics? The underlining is that we are a GSP and one of the leaders in the GST space. All our APIs are ERP agnostic. Now, coming to the Fynamics GST TaxTech APIs, the partner portal would look like this. You get the option to view the pans that are there available. You can also have the option to view notifications on certain subscriptions and expiry. You have the option to also have a visibility of the pans that are attached to your module and what is the module that is selected, etc. As I mentioned, this provides very detailed data points, so you can also get to see what is the fee and what is the renewal date. These are annual subscriptions. You get to do the renewal also online, where you can just pass where you get redirected to our payment gateway, and you get to make the payment and automatically renew. And it will give you a lot of other information like transaction-wise details. If there are available, then what is the transaction count, and what is the billing frequency, when did the engagement start, what are remarks, and so on and so forth, plus a notification email on when you are billing renewals. So this is more about a admin level view. You also get information at a individual PAN level view, which is individual GST ID or PAN level GST ID. Individual GST ID or PAN level information across individual modules or all modules of e-invoice, e-bill, API usage, how much got generated, what success, what errors, and so on. You can also view PAN level information and then across similarly the for a date range, get visibility of the number of hits and number of errors, etc. And this can also be drilled down further to reporting section, where you can just go to the report section and you can just view the data points at a report level with the option to download that report also in any relevant format. So you have the my usage section, which will give you summary information with specific counts, GST ID wise, and which API was used, etc. And you can also extend this solution to your client, who can log in and look at invoice level, customer level reports and dashboards, which is anyways covered in a subsequent module of our video series for e-invoice, e-bill, GST, etc. They can always log in and view, drill down and view at a very detailed level. So those are the two solution offerings. Just to recap, API gateway, no data stored, only the header, pay-per-use, no commitments. TaxTech, complete data storage with unlimited users, so you can even extend access to your customers, etc. And authentication, and all these are enriched APIs with the option to take care of authentication and encryption, etc., being taken care by Fynamics, and pricing based on annual slab-based pricing at a PAN level. So hope this was fairly clear in terms of which option works for you. You can choose to even have a combination. Let's say you have 10 clients, of which 3 of them you want to take them on the TaxTech on a per pan basis, where the clients also want to log in and look at the reports, and you get the print URL, etc. And the remaining 7 you take them into the API gateway as combined entities into one single account. You can do any of that combination. There is absolutely no problem. You can have a combination of our API gateway and TaxTech, or you consume only the API gateway, or you consume only the TaxTech. It's completely left to your choice. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please feel free to reach out to Fynamics team for support. Have a good day.